Gotta love it.
Love the intro.
Welcome to Talkin Baloney. It's our second episode. And Jim Deezy, how's it going?
Going good, man. Going good today. Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. You know, today we're kind of, we had a lot of anticipation for this next episode. We had a lot planned. And then, you know, we're doing something else totally different than what we planned.
Unscripted.
Yeah. Off the cuff.
Literally unscripted.
So, speaking of Talking Baloney, the name of the podcast, what kind of feedback are you getting from our first show?
Well, a couple big pieces of feedback I got was that I was looking at the camera way too much. On top of that, I maybe stirred my coffee just a little too much.
So there's a few comments. Yeah, maybe you were stirring the coffee too much.
Did apparently had some dry lips going on, maybe licking my lips too much, possibly, but definitely the stirring the coffee cup was definitely did not realize I was doing it, and it's listen, coffee's good when it's stirred. Let's just be honest, okay.
And in all fairness, this is your first real on camera.
Yeah.
This was your intro to the world kind of thing.
Yeah, just like being born all over again.
And I might even say things to you like, you know, maybe lean in a little closer to the microphone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Something like that.
It's an experience, and you know what? Everybody should try it one time in life.
Exactly.
Yep. Don't be scared.
So should we talk about what we were going to talk about? There was going to be a special guest today.
Yeah, we're gonna leave the special guest alone today, but if you bail next week, gloves are off.
Hidden in the backyard.
Just a preview. Be ready. He's gonna bring it, he told me too.
This is Boutique Motors.
That's right. They're both gonna bring it. You're gonna meet the brothers in the next few weeks. You're gonna meet what's made our family the family we are. So we're hoping that they stay focused and they join the podcast in the next few weeks. Next week, Sunday, you will tune in.
You're letting them off the hook pretty easy.
I am. But if you're not here next week, I will not let you off that easy.
This is Boutique Motors.
That's right.
Hell yeah!
It's good times, man. Good times.
So we have a special guest then today.
We do. We have a couple special guests, maybe.
Yeah. One in studio.
Yep. One in studio.
And one on the phone.
And one on the phone. We'll let the gentleman on the phone, our special call-in today, we'll let him actually introduce himself to you. And he'll talk about some topics near and dear to his heart.
Give us a little preview. What is near and dear to his heart?
He's a diehard wrestling guy. Also, on top of being a wrestling guy, he's a diehard superhero kind of guy, whether it's Batman, Superman, also Star Wars and Star Trek. So we're going to touch on a couple subjects, maybe strike a nerve.
Yeah,
probably strike a nerve.
And what was it that... So you used to work with him, and what would you do at work?
Well, I just try to prod him along and let him know that Batman's not really a superhero.
Because he doesn't have...
He was never born like that. We all know. Money bought his suits. Money bought his superhero powers.
He's a spoiled little rich boy.
Yeah, spoiled little brat.
Superman, however...
Born with it.
Yeah.
Born with the talent that God gave him. Being a superhero.
and strange visitor from another planet.
Oh, absolutely. He's an alien.
Yeah.
So, definitely a superhero.
And you actually know a lot about Star Wars because you've seen one of the movies.
I have. I've seen one episode. I saw the ones way back from the 80s. I did see those.
But not recently.
No, not at all. I do know that there's a lot of fighting going on with that lightsaber thing.
Good. You know that.
I did watch an episode of The Mandalorian.
How'd you like The Mandalorian?
It was good. I started to watch the second episode, and it's not my thing. I'd rather watch monster trucks.
So in the lifelong debate of Star Wars versus Star Trek, you're definitely a Star Trek guy.
I would say I'm more of a Star Trek fan than I am a Star Wars guy, only because of the fact that Star Trek's believable. Star Wars is not.
Yeah. Star Trek is science fiction.
True.
Star Wars is space fantasy.
Yeah. Space fantasy. Star Trek is, listen, I can get behind a Mr. Spock or a Captain Kirk, get behind all that, but this whole lightsabers guy, mind melding power, wrong show. But the whole Darth Vader where he can move his hand and make somebody die and choke or whatever, throw someone across. Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Wow.
Not buying it.
Well, you got to draw the line somewhere.
I do. And you know what, you Star Wars fans, you want to come at me? Come at me.
You have no idea what you just did. You haven't even mentioned like the recent movies and how poorly they've been received online, but usually that doesn't go over well.
Being that I do, use Twitter and I follow, it's like Twitter is probably the most useless form of information that's out there, but we all know everything on Twitter is true.
Oh, 100%.
Duh.
I think there's actually a rule, like you can't post on Twitter unless it's 100%
100% true. Has to be verifiably true. So we all know that when all the reviews that Star Wars just recently got that were negative, we all know that can't possibly be true.
So it's 100% true if it's on Twitter, unless it's about Star Wars.
Unless it's about Star Wars, then we know it's true.
Yeah. All right, so we're looking forward to our special guest call-in. It will be our first call-in.
Yep.
And then in studio, you might actually remember our guest because she was here last week.
Yep. Actually, someone very near and dear and close to me. She's going to finish off her conversation that she didn't get to finish last time about...
So she has unfinished business.
Unfinished business to talk about being with this guy.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's true. It's damn true.
All right, on that note, let's cue the music, take a break.
Awesome. Break time.
Yeah.
Like to
And
thank
we'll
our
be back.
sponsor, Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Paper in a treeless world.
And our other sponsor,
Our corporate sponsor, Jimbo Joe's Coffee.
there you
Coming 2027.
go. At least.
At least.
We'll be right back after this. And we are back.
We are live. Coming to you from
Talkin'
Studio A.
Studio A of Classy Wolf Media Podcast. We're back with Talkin Baloney, and it's time for Jim's favorite part of the show,
Ooh.
Hot Topics.
Hot topics.
And we're going to kick it right off with, it's the big fight from last night.
Ooh.
Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, the rematch.
Two big heavyweights going at it.
Did you see the fight?
I watched the highlights on ESPN this morning.
That's good.
So I'm an avid sports analyst at this point. Because that's all it's required. There's no degree needed.
Oh, no. I saw some clips on Twitter, so I'm probably a little bit behind what you saw.
Yeah, I can tell you from what I did see that it definitely looked like Deontay Wilder was not prepared for what Tyson Fury brought to him. And it definitely looks like Tyson Fury did his homework this time and actually knew that a jab could beat somebody that he didn't throw last time when he was fighting him.
And he, busted up his eardrum.
Yeah,
Hurt him pretty good.
little blood in the old ear, and let's just say I've never been there before, so I don't know what that's like.
Now, of course, one of the reasons we bring up the fight, we're not really big boxing fans, but we are wrestling fans.
We are wrestling fans, and wrestling is in our blood. It's in our DNA. It's who we are.
And Tyson Fury, not that long ago, was in the ring with Braun Strowman.
He was.
And now that he's beaten Wilder and is the champ, will we see him at WrestleMania?
I think we will. I think we'll see him at WrestleMania. I think we're going to see him at some point, probably maybe a tag team, possibly.
So maybe tagging with Braun.
Maybe a little tag action. Maybe he brings on a couple more belts.
Wow.
Tag belts.
Yeah?
You know? So shout out to the Gypsy King today. Mentioning you on Talkin Baloney. So if you could
Yeah. He's
mention us
really
back,
made
that'd
it
be
now.
great. You've made the Talkin Baloney podcast, Tyson Fury. So money, it's nothing. Being on this podcast, everything.
This is Bucci. Bucci Motor.
Hell yeah.
So, in another topic, this is kind of more in line with some of the stuff we talked about last week.
Correct.
By the way, the follow-up, did you wash your pillows?
I still have washed my pillows.
Still haven't washed them?
No.
Okay.
Pretty sure I got mites in my ears.
Now, when you're at home after a long day of work, do you walk around barefoot or not?
I wear flip-flops or sandals all day when I'm home.
So you never go like barefoot?
Never.
Okay, so that was a big trending topic was if you do go barefoot at home, should you wash your feet before you go to bed?
I would say yes.
Good answer.
Sounds like the most hygienic thing to do. I would probably say there were probably times in life where I said, screw it. But I hop in the old sack, dirty feet and all. Got dirt on my feet and mites in my ears from my pillows.
We're very concerned about hygiene here on the Big Talking Baloney podcast.
You do need to stay clean and stay fresh, America. It's very important.
All right. Well, that was kind of it for trending topics. I mean,
All right.
it's tough when the majority of people this week were talking about a topic that we don't talk about here on Talking Baloney. Politics.
We stay away from it. We don't touch religion either.
Right.
Just two topics that are off limits on this show. You want to come on this show and speak? You speak freely. Talk about anything you want to talk about, except politics and religion.
Politics and religion.
We don't do that.
No.
Not on this show.
Because it's no limits here on Talking Baloney.
Sky's the limit. No topic untouched, except religion and politics.
All right. We'll take another quick break.
Break time. Time to refill the old coffee. Dunder Mifflin. Like to thank our sponsor. They don't even know they're our sponsor.
That's how good they are.
Just keep sending the checks. That's all we care about. $5.95.
And we'll be back with our special guest on the phone in a minute.
See you soon.
And we are back.
Welcome back. The best podcast since Talkin Baloney. Oh, wait, that's our show.
We're the best podcast since Talking Baloney.
That's right.
Yeah, because we had an episode last week, so this
Yep.
is now.
Episode 2. Because 2 comes after 1, and you know how it goes.
We got this.
We might be new at this, but we're not.
Let's call our special guest.
Oh, let's give him a holler. Yeah, I know he's waiting. He's waiting in the wings to talk. Hey, is this John?
Yep.
Mr. John, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? Hey, you're talking live to Jim Deezy and the big guy at the Talkin Baloney podcast. And I just want to get your take on a couple things, some couple hot topics going on in this world today.
Sure thing. Fire away. What do we got first?
So first off, I want you to tell the world what you're into. What's your cup of tea?
Hi guys, I'm John, also known as NDK. Here to give you some thoughts on pro wrestling, video games, and all things nerdy.
That's our guy right there. So, John, tell us a little bit about how you feel about Star Wars and Star Trek. Which one's better? Which one's worse? Which one do you?
That's not a fair question. I'm more of a Star Wars person, if I'm going to be completely honest. I feel that Star Trek's based on a utopia. It doesn't really delve into real life. Star Wars is based on, it's more dark, has more to do with real world war, religion, philosophy.
Okay. The good news is two things we don't talk about on this podcast is religion and politics. So that's why I like Star Trek better.
There's plenty of politics in Star Trek to talk about too.
So tell us a little bit about. Have you watched The Mandalorian?
Oh yeah, it's probably the best thing that's come out of Disney Star Wars so far.
I do want you to know I did watch episode 1, and I did watch half of the episode of 2.
You watched an episode of Mandalorian.
I watched a episode of Mandalorian.
Because episode 1 is something else totally different.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a space western that happens to be in the Star Wars universe. It's just following this bounty hunter dealing with his moral qualms with situations he gets himself into. And, they've got some fantastic writing with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Some fantastic guest directing. Taika Waititi directed an episode.
The director of Thor Ragnarok.
Among other things. Jojo Rabbit and he's been lighting up the box office lately.
I honestly have no idea what you guys just said, but I do want you to know that it's all believable.
Well, Jim, you saw a Star Wars movie in its entirety recently.
I saw Rogue One.
Yeah.
That is probably my favorite of all the Disney Star Wars movies.
I want to say I was entertained. I was on the edge of my seat because I had to go to the bathroom, but I didn't want to miss anything. So, but I will say that I was definitely entertained. It was good to see where, I don't know what you want to call it, characters. I liked all the lightsaber stuff. I liked all the special effects.
Darth Vader was awesome in that movie.
Oh yeah, the two scenes he's in are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it showed the real potential of what you could do with Darth Vader, which is something they haven't done in many of the other movies.
Although there are some awesome fan films out there dealing with Darth Vader. I would recommend checking out Star Wars Theory on his YouTube channel. He has a Darth Vader fan film that is just amazing.
There you go.
All right. Plugging away someone's show while we're here. See, it's all about fairness and what we do.
Oh, he doesn't need any plugs. He's got like 2 million subscribers, but it's just that good.
Well, if he wants to throw some of them our way, we're happy with that. Well, so John, there's a couple other questions we wanted to bring you on the show and talk about.
Sure, fire away.
Superheroes.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite and why?
Oh, geez. I've always been a fan of Captain America. But recently, I don't know, he's been... I always kind of thought he was boring, but just because he never really changes, he's just always Cap. The development they gave him in the Marvel Universe, it's something to work with. Uh-huh. He has some dark times that he realizes that people are just going to follow him just because he's Captain America, and that is dangerous.
Okay. So how do you feel about Batman?
The new one?
Nope, just Batman in general. Is he a superhero? Is he not a superhero? I say
he's
nay.
A very talented person with a lot of money to throw into technology and gadgets.
Thank you. That is right from the guy himself right there telling you that Batman is not a superhero.
He's a hero, but he has no superpowers.
Oh, there's a fine distinction there. A hero, but not a superhero.
Correct. He is still a hero.
And speaking of...
But he's not a superhero.
You mentioned the newest Batman, Robert Pattinson. Did you see the leaked photos of the costume?
Oh, I'm not impressed.
Yeah. It looks like he's wearing like hockey equipment that's been painted black.
Yeah, well, to quote the Batman 2 there, Dark Knight. There, I'm not wearing hockey pads. That great line.
Yeah.
Who was, in your view, the best Batman?
Oh, the Dark Knight trilogy is my favorite Batman trilogy.
Yeah. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. I go for the gritty reality.
Okay.
The 90s stuff, they have their place, but it's too over the top.
Yeah, every time I watch the first Batman, I think Beetlejuice.
Well, Michael Keaton.
Yeah. But I have to agree with you. I will agree with you that the best Batman was Christian Bale. Hands down.
Have you watched Batman and Robin recently? The one with Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze?
No.
That just doesn't hold up.
That doesn't hold up at all. I don't know if it ever held up, but everybody chill.
Well, you got to get the dad jokes in there.
So talking Batman, how do you feel about Superman?
He's boring.
What? He's a
boring.
superhero by blood.
He's boring. He never changes. He's always this paragon. I don't like static characters. Give me a character that changes. And if you're going to talk about the alternate reality there, where Superman goes nuts and kills everybody and becomes the dictator of Earth, I like that Superman because he's dynamic.
I like it. I like where you're going with this. Dark. Bring on the dark Superman. That's what we want.
Well, just give me something where the character grows. A character that never grows is pretty boring.
Ooh.
So what's a good example of a character who's grown for you in comic books?
Geez. Robin is probably one of the best ones. Dick Clark there, where he becomes Robin and then goes on to the Teen Titans and on to Nightwing. He does his own thing. He grows as a character.
Uh-huh.
It's a good example. He's had a good 60 years to evolve.
Yeah, Iron Man is another one. He starts out as this playboy, and especially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he grows into being this father figure and this responsible person he never was.
So that leads me to another question. I know this is a question near and dear to your heart. Marvel versus what's the other one?
DC, Jim?
DC. Marvel versus DC. Give me your hot take on that one.
Are we talking just movies or just overall?
Overall.
I grew up a Marvel kid. Spider-Man was my thing growing up. But I appreciate DC. They're not afraid to create dark alternate realities, especially when they went into the Injustice thing there. But right now, Marvel's got it going on. I mean, it's been hard for them not to put out something that's gold.
Uh-huh.
So
to summarize, you really like the dark reality stuff.
I can go for high fantasy stuff, but with superheroes and comic books, just saving the world and everything's okay every time. It's pretty boring.
Thank you.
Give me something where the Flash is. I can't remember. It was in one of the Justice League cartoons where the Flash gets the crap beat out of him and he runs away and doesn't give a snarky comment. That's something where character development comes into there, and it makes you think, "Oh crap, he's actually scared."
Man.
So bringing it all back to Star Trek, I'm guessing you probably like the Mirror Universe episodes where you saw the dark sides of all the different characters.
Those are hit or miss, just because some of them are just kind of meh. But the original series, the Mirror Universe stuff is great. Deep Space Nine, hit or miss on that. Discovery, the Mirror Universe stuff was amazing, but that was, spoiler alert, that's basically the entire first season of Discovery. If you haven't watched it.
That was a spoiler because I haven't seen it yet, but thanks.
Well, they do it really cleverly, and you'll enjoy it even if you know what's going on. Because I picked up on it in the second episode.
Nice.
So it's kind of a Mr. Robot thing where you figured it out right away, and then you had to wait for the whole season to get there.
Well, just something didn't seem right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So we're gonna flip topics real quick.
Go for it.
WWE versus AEW.
Wow.
Give me your 30-second take.
You went there.
I went there.
you went there. I appreciate AEW for what it is, but obviously it's not necessarily on the same level as WWE. Although they are putting up better numbers than NXT right now.
Uh-huh.
that's just because I think it's fresh and new. They're they have to get somewhere where they've established themselves more.
Do you feel that ratings are slighted somewhat just by the fact that NXT is a smaller show versus AEW, which is a bigger produced show? Do you think that ratings are really fair there, or?
Well, I think part of the problem with the NXT stuff is you can still watch the whole thing on the WWE network.
Yeah. Yep.
And that doesn't go into the ratings. I kind of like I like NXT's simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
It's focused on the wrestling, not on the show so much. The wrestling is the show.
Mm-hmm. I like that. See, I knew having you on this show was going to bring some credibility to this voice.
Well, one goes, one's best.
So leading up to, we're on the road to WrestleMania right now.
Absolutely.
They are coming through fine city of Elmira, New York at some point. But anything you'd like to see, any off the wall appearances, anybody you'd like to, what would you like to see happen at WrestleMania?
Honestly, it's not going to happen because it looks like they're going to have Cena wrestle Elias. I wanted to see Cena versus Edge one more time.
Wow.
I like that. I didn't even think about that. That would be a good match.
If they could coax CM Punk into one match, make it a triple threat with CM Punk.
Yeah, listen, I've known you for a while now. You know me. I've been saying CM Punk's coming back every pay-per-view for probably the last 10 years. But
yeah. It's on my wish list too. And give it another year when he's on the Fox show there talking. Is it Talking Smack or what are they doing? Can't remember the name of it. But give him another year or so to warm back up to the WWE, and we might see him back.
The man has an unbelievable cult following. It's never gone away. He's still popular with the fans. He's going to save wrestling someday, whatever the topic is.
Well, he got me back into wrestling in his run with WWE. I was over it because it was just John Cena versus Randy Orton all the time. It was boring.
Yeah.
And then Punk came along, did the pipe bomb, did his little cult there that was pretty entertaining.
Okay. Well, listen, we are wrapping up with John. We will have him back. He is
great guest.
Yeah. The best guest we've ever had on this show.
Your wife.
Am I the first guest you've had on the show?
You are the first guest on our show, John. So
well, that doesn't really give much of a measuring stick.
And I want you to know the check is in the mail.
Oh.
It will bounce, but it's in the mail.
So then I'll hold on to it until you tell me one.
So everybody from Talkin Baloney, let's say goodbye to John, and John, we'll be reaching out to you soon. Okay.
Yeah, guys, I'll give Jim my social media information if you want to follow me there.
All right.
I post a lot of funny stuff and nerd-related stuff, and I'll be having my own YouTube channel popping up here sometime in the future. So stay tuned for that.
Sounds good, John. We'll be talking to you soon.
Have a good one, guys.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
And with that, we will be back with more Talkin Baloney.
Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, Jimbo Joe's Coffee, 2028.
And we are back. Talkin Baloney.
We are back, and we want to take a second out to thank our sponsors, Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, selling you paper one ream at a time. We'd like to thank our corporate sponsor, Jimbo Joe's Coffee, coming to you in 2027.
Let's talk a little more about Jimbo Joe's, because I don't think we've plugged it enough this week.
So Jimbo Joe's is going to be the first mobile coffee truck. Patents are pending. Trademarks are pending.
Everything's pending.
Everything is pending, including the service and the coffee.
Well, now that we got all the sponsor stuff out of the way, let's talk. We have a guest in studio.
We're going to call her Alex on the podcast live today in the flesh. She's going to bring some topics of ours to the forefront that we might be unaware of what's going on in the world today. Alex, take it away.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's talk about
Let's talk about your time you had a little car trouble.
Okay. Okay. Just jumping straight into it.
Jump right into it. Tell us what happened.
So my first car was purchased for me by my father.
Uh-huh.
It was a used car.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't have any issues with it until I did. I guess the story starts I went to go get ice cream, you know, with your friends, as you do.
Right.
My friend Valentine was in the car with me. And so was my friend Brody Quest. That is a specific request for that name.
Okay. Trademarks are already done, so you can't steal that name.
Nope. It's a song. Anyway, we went out for ice cream, and so I picked my friends up, and the highway that leads out around the city is curved in such a way that there's not really a place to get off if you have an emergency.
Right.
Around our city where there's like a wall and you can't really pull over for an emergency. Go figure, my car explodes.
Explode, it did.
It did. It caught fire in the engine.
Your car is going to die. That's the way you want it to happen. Smoke and fire.
It started smoking. And so I pulled over to the side of the road where you're not supposed to be. Like, this is, like, worst case scenario. My car just exploded. I had to pull over to a place that's not an emergency spot.
Okay.
So, that was fun. Of course, my friends are panicking at this point because they're like, oh my God, we're on the side of the highway. What do we do?
So did we get you, did the police come or anything like that? Oh, did they?
Yeah, I had 5 troopers show up.
We'd also like to thank the New York State Police for assisting in this and helping out.
Thank you very much for bringing bringing the police vans.
Yeah.
They brought the paddy wagon for you. Is what
yes, they brought because they expected to need to transport my friends to a garage.
All right.
I wasn't being arrested or anything. I don't think they can arrest you for car trouble.
No, they can't. I mean, they could. If you had 50 pounds of marijuana in the back seat, they could.
Unlikely. So, in the end, we didn't take a ride in the paddy wagon.
Okay, good.
The 5 police officers showed up. They called a tow company for us.
Excellent.
And then the nice tow truck lady let us ride in the back of her tow truck to the place that fixes cars. It's not like a garage. It's like a sales place.
We get it.
Yeah.
We understand.
Yeah.
So let's move on to a disastrous scenario. Let's move into something a little bit more positive. Let's talk about creepers at work.
Oh my God. Woo. All right.
Heard you've been dealing with a couple of creepers at work. We won't talk about where you work or anything like that, but
no. Well, you know, as someone who deals with people, my whole job surrounds dealing with people on a regular basis. Sometimes you get some interesting folks who come in to have conversations with you.
Correct.
Or not have conversations, depending. So
give us one good instance, if you can think of one good moment that you can talk about.
My first day on the job.
Oh, first day.
First day on the job. A guy. We have I guess you could call it a community coffee maker. In my office, so people from anywhere can come in and make coffee. So we had this guy who came into the office, and he started the coffee pot, thinking nothing of it, you know, just a regular old guy needs a cup of joe. It's like 6 a.m. Good for him.
Everybody needs coffee.
Except then he pulled out like a dollar store squirt bottle. You know, like the really cheap plastic ones?
Okay.
Interesting.
Like the really cheap plastic ones that you get to spray plants with?
Right.
He pulled out one of those. It was green. I don't know why that detail I remember. And he sticks it in under the coffee thing, and he fills it up with coffee, and then he screws on the squirt lid, and he leaves.
Well then.
And
caffeine for the plants.
And he did that for 3 months.
Okay.
Every single day at like 7 o'clock, he'd come into the office, fill a squirt bottle full of coffee. At one point, we even gave him a cup. because we were.
You are correct, sir.
We gave him a cup because we figured, hey, maybe he doesn't have a cup. But he came back the next day with a squirt bottle, so.
Now, Jim, you're an avid coffee drinker.
I am. And I will tell you this, I've never drank coffee from a squirt bottle.
Well, that was
It's
my
just
question.
not in my cup of tea. Shh, you're all weak.
Oh my god.
Wait, do that again. Oh, that was
Perfect.
It was close enough.
yeah.
In the words of The Miz, that was awesome.
If I could go on and talk about Corn God if you want.
Corn God. Well, listen, we are almost out of time
Okay.
here, so save the Corn God for the next episode.
I will.
We will. We want to hear about the corn, as long as it doesn't mention religion or politics.
It
We'll talk
doesn't.
about the Corn God. All right.
I can't think of a better tease than any in the history of podcasting than stay tuned for the story of the Corn God.
Coming to you on the Talkin Baloney podcast, sponsored by Dunder Mifflin Paper Company and Jimbo Joe's Coffee. Coming in the future. Welcome back to Talkin Baloney, where all we do is talk baloney without the politics and the religion conversation, because it's just something we don't talk about. Even though everything is, nothing's off limits except politics and religion.
Politics and religion. Yeah. Well, we had a great Talking Baloney today.
Probably our best episode yet.
Yeah, of the two, this one.
Yeah,
oof.
definitely. Of the two that we've done so far, I'm going to say this one right now is an instant classic.
We got some really good pop culture stuff. We talked wrestling, we talked sci-fi, we talked comic books.
Boxing. We even threw some boxing in there, which was, hey, no topics off limits. That's what we do here.
We got Alex to tell us some stories that were strange and creepy and make us never want to go to wherever it is she works.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging and a little bit more research into what in the hell is going on there.
And the area is patrolled, right? There's
From what
some
I understand, there is some
police presence.
there is some security of some sort there. We'll probably have to make a phone call after this episode's over.
So we're wrapping up the show this week.
Yep.
We had a good show, but what are we looking forward to in the next week?
I think we're gonna bring on a couple of the brothers next week or
You think they'll
so.
actually come on the show?
I'm hoping they better come on the show. If they don't, curtains.
Wow.
Curtains. Sleeping with the fishes. Don't mean that in any legal way.
No, that's not legally binding contract. You can say that.
Godfather reference. We'll get some guests from the family on the show and maybe even meet or talk to the cousin once or twice. The old Ant-Man.
whoa.
He's reached out to him today. He said he'd like to be on the old podcast. So, yeah, he can tell us what's going on in his life and the life of others.
Ant-Man has some interesting stuff going on. He's big in the G.I. Joe universe.
Oh, huge G.I. Joe guy. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to miss that episode when he comes on, and we'll give you a notice. We'll let you know.
He'll tell us about the time he met Sergeant Slaughter. So, I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's something to look forward to there.
He's got some famous people in his life that he's hung out with. Some of us not so famous, relatives. That's what we are, the non-famous ones.
Start shaking the extreme.
That's right.
How Borat got to start.
That's exactly right.
Big Fox, the fox that rocks.
Jimmy, this is Bucci.
Oh yeah.
Bucci
Oh
Motor.
yeah. Absolutely. Coming on the show soon. Yeah.
Where's the gold hidden in the backyard?
The gold is in this room right here
This is where the gold happens every week.
on Talkin Baloney.
And we will see you next time.
Next time.